Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're testing out Gran Turismo 7 on my PS5 Pro. Now currently, we are still waiting on the ray tracing patch, which will enable ray tracing in the actual in-game races. But currently, in terms of what we have now, is the ray tracing resolution mode, which only has ray tracing in the replay. There also is a 60 frames per second that prioritizes the frame rate, which we will test that a little bit later. But one reason why I wanted to test this game is on the standard PS5 console, like the non-pro, there would always be a slowdown when you're racing like faster vehicles on Deep Forest Raceway, and that does not seem to be no longer present in the PS5 Pro, which is nice. So we're going to be driving this beautiful Ferrari F12 Berlinetta, which I just admire the looks. It's got that classic Ferrari shape with a awesome V12. It is tuned, and we're going to do Deep Forest Raceway, which, like I said, would normally have a huge slowdown on the standard PS5. It would be during the first lap, like just some point where you'd see like these large trees you'd be turning, and there would be the huge frame drop where it would get down to like 20 frames per second, and there'd just be a huge stutter. And on the PS5 Pro, that is no longer present. So I just want to kind of show you that in game, and then we will also show you the 60 frame per second mode, which I'm guessing may possibly have a higher resolution if this game does support PSSR, but I'm not really quite sure. But I always would remember I would play this this race course on my regular PS5, and there would always be a huge slowdown. And I will kind of mention where it's supposed to happen. Like there would be a slowdown even on that first turn, which I just went through. But there would be another one like during a turn when you see like this large tree, and it's just no longer present at all in the PS5 Pro, which just shows you that the extra graphics horsepower is helping reduce that frame stutter, which is always present on the PS5, so it is nice. And as I mentioned, they do not have the ray tracing in-game, so I know a lot of people are making videos claiming that there's ray tracing, but no, that's not ray tracing, that's just feedback reflections. That's not going to be coming out until the end of November, so I will be definitely testing that out when it does come out, but this is basically going to target the same visuals as the standard PS5, only it's going to run a little bit better, as I mentioned. And yeah, there would be a slowdown, I think, here when you see this big tree. But it's no longer present on this PS5 Pro version, which I think is great. So it's kind of nice that... And there's also a 120 frame per second mode on this title. I do have a 120 hertz display on my TV with a VRR, so I do have the ability to test it out, but I'm not a big fan of it because all it's going to do is lower the resolution to maintain that kind of frame rate. So we'll just do a 2-lap race. We'll do the external view for the first lap, and then we'll go to the cockpit view. But once you get through the first lap, like on the standard PS5, you won't get the slowdown, because I think the slowdown is partially because of all the AI racers and the cars that are being rendered. But when you're just playing it now on the PS5 Pro, you no longer get that slowdown. I forget if I'm driving, I'm a little bit distracted. I haven't played this title for a good 2 or 3 months, so a little bit rusty. But this is the main reason why I even bought the PS5 in the first place, was Gran Turismo 7. I always loved racing simulators. I've literally been playing Gran Turismo since the original Gran Turismo 1 on the PS1, which was like back in like 1998, I believe, I was playing it. And I remember playing Gran Turismo 1 and 2 with all my friends. We'd be souping up our cars, doing 0 to 60 tests, quarter-mile runs. Everything was just like, for that time period, it was so amazing. Like, it was like so fun. I remember we would do like multiplayer races, or we would, you know, take our favorite cars and race against each other in some of these courses. And it was just so much fun. And just think, like, so many years later, now we have this version, Gran Turismo 7, which is just like mind-blowing in terms of the visuals. Even today, I think it still looks amazing. And then, like I said, later down the road, we are going to get the ray tracing mode, which will be available in the in-game race, so that's going to be cool. But yeah, I've always enjoyed this title. I'm not the best sim racer. I don't have like a steering wheel setup or anything, but I do enjoy any simulation title that has realistic physics and graphics like this title does. which this most certainly does, no doubt. Oh shit. Yeah, this car is highly powerful, so it's easy to lose the back end. But such a beautiful car, you know? It's got that classic Ferrari look that I just love. So now, like I mentioned, only the replay mode has the actual ray tracing. So I will just show you a brief preview of that in the replay, which I have shown in my previous videos, but we'll just go ahead and briefly look at it just to kind of appreciate that this is what we'll be seeing in-game at the end of November. So you can try to picture yourself driving with those kind of reflections. That's what we're going to see, and apparently it is going to lower the resolution slightly from what I understand to maintain that ray tracing mode, but that's going to be cool to test out, and I definitely look forward to that update, which is what everyone I think is excited to try out soon. It looks almost photorealistic, and even the older Gran Turismos, like even Gran Turismo 2 on the PS1, I remember seeing the replay. And even back then, it almost looked real. They still have that same kind of photorealistic look sometimes in some of these replay shots, which I definitely admire. Very cool. Okay, so as I mentioned, I was also going to test out the 60 frames per second mode. So we'll just do one quick lap at the same course, and we will enable the 60 frames per second option, which I guess would target a lower resolution, maybe 1440p. I just want to show you the difference in the smoothness between the two modes here. So we'll prioritize frame rate, which will be 60 FPS, and then I can even feel, just even in the scrolling of the cursor here, it's faster. Actually, we'll change the course just for fun. We'll do Deep Forest Raceway, which is another cool course. Oops. I will do it at night, just to change things up. I can even tell already, even in the introduction, like it just feels so much smoother. And so I'm not sure on the PS5 Pro if it targets higher than 1440p resolution. I'm not really quite sure. I don't remember if Digital Foundry did a video on the differences, but I can tell that the visuals are less detailed. But in terms of smoothness, it's a lot smoother, a lot more in control. Like, I could feel like I could be a better racer in the 60 frames per second mode. No doubt. But I could tell that the visuals did take a noticeable decline here. I'm driving horrible, forgive me. We'll just do one lap. So I want to keep these PS5 Pro videos short and sweet. Try to keep them under 8 minutes long, just so I could pump out a lot of videos and upload them in a reasonable amount of time. Go to the cockpit view here. Looks like we got a deep turn here. Chicane. Just listen to that V12. It sounds so sick, man. What a monster. But yeah, this forever will be like my favorite race game of all time. This and Forza Horizon, which obviously is not a simulation title, the arcade title. Those have always been my favorite racing titles. Forza Horizon, Forza Motorsport, and Gran Turismo 7. But forever, Gran Turismo series will always be my favorite, like all time for sure, no doubt. Okay, so that shows you the 60 frame per second mode on Gran Turismo 7. If you did enjoy the video, do give this video a like, and then stay tuned later towards the end of the month, maybe closer to Thanksgiving, we'll probably get the update for the ray tracing mode, which will add ray tracing to the in-game races. So, following this video, I'm going to be testing out one more game, which I'll add to a PS5 Pro playlist. And in terms of what game that will be, I think it's going to be Resident Evil Village, which also did get the PS5 Pro patch. So stay tuned if you want to see that video. It'll be in the playlist following this video. But as always, I appreciate all the support. Thank you for watching. And if you did enjoy the video, do give this video a like. And if you want to see more content like this, more PS5 Pro gaming videos, and more RTX 4080 Super PC gaming videos, feel free to subscribe. So thanks for watching. Appreciate all the support. And this brings to you Gran Turismo 7. And then, like I said, stay tuned later in this month. We'll just up the ray tracing mode. Later, guys. Peace out.